Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Mekarfi Tambaya, a staff of Nigerian Korean Model School. I'm here to present a paper on a topic: multimedia content development and computer literacy. But before I go further, let me note some points, or let me write the topic. This is the topic: multimedia content development and computer literacy. I'm going to talk on these keywords, focus my attention on these keywords. I'm going to speak on multimedia. What is the meaning of multimedia? Then I will speak on content development. Having talked about content development, I will talk about computer literacy. Multimedia is a combination of text, graphics, animation, audio, videos, and all other forms of media which represent, store, transmit, and process all information digitally. That's the definition of multimedia. When we are talking about multimedia, it's not only one interface you are using. You are using so many things, digital informations. You combine them together, be it text, be it graphics, be it animation, and all other forms of computer-related information in a digital form. That's multimedia. Having talked about multimedia, we will now talk about content development. When we are talking about content development, it's the same thing like your lesson plan as a teacher, that before you go into the class to present your lesson, you will sit down and write your lesson plan for on what topic that you are going to teach. On a particular topic that you are going to teach, you are going to present a lesson plan. Sit down and design your lesson plan. You make adequate preparation. After then, you go and present to the class. So it's the same thing with content development. Content development is research, organizing and producing certain information to meet a set objective. When developing multimedia content, consideration should be given to how teaching can be used, how technology can be used to acquire, organize, demonstrate, and communicate information. The planning process for multimedia content development cannot be overemphasized. Based on that, is similar to planning a normal lesson note. When we are talking about content development, it's the same thing like planning a lesson note. The main differences is how the learners acquire the skill and knowledge. In content development, you can download materials, videos online, etc. Because in content development, you are using multimedia to make sure that in your lesson, what you are going to teach in the class, you are going to use multimedia. That's combination of animation, graphics, text, and all other forms of computer-related information digitally. So that's the only difference. You can get those things. You can download it online. You can download it online. All these materials to make sure that your lesson is being well presented in the class so that the objective of the lesson will be achieved. So that what you are teaching is going to be explicit. The children will be able to understand it in a simpler way without any racking their brain. There will be serious assimilation from the learners. What you are teaching them, they will be able to understand. It will be inculcated to them. It will be transmitted to them without any... the lesson is not going to be boring to them. In a nutshell, that's how it is. It's similar to planning a normal lesson note. The main differences is how the learners acquire the skill and knowledge. In content development, you can download materials, videos online, etc. Before you could plan to develop a content using multimedia, how well did you know about the multimedia? As a resource person, before you go into developing multimedia as a content development, you are supposed to put into consideration how much did I know how to utilize or to use multimedia. Am I efficient? Am I proficient in manipulating multimedia gadgets? You have to put all these things into consideration. Things to consider in multimedia content development. There are some things that you have to put into consideration when you are going to develop your multimedia content. That's content development of multimedia. That's why I say there is a slight difference between your normal lesson notes from content development of multimedia. Because there are some things that you put into consideration if you are going to develop your multimedia content. And those things that you put into consideration is number one, check the curriculum content. You have to check your curriculum content very well to know whether the topic that you are going to teach your student, it is in consonance with your curriculum or is in your syllabus. When you discover that it is in consonance, it is in harmony with what you are going to teach, then you can pick that topic. Is it in that very week you are supposed to teach that topic? You cannot just pick that topic for that time. Maybe it's not for that particular week. Let's say, for instance, now we are in third time, week 9. So I'm not supposed to go back and teach, maybe to pick a topic for first week or second week or third week in the topic that I'm going to teach. No, I'm supposed to pick based on the curriculum that I've checked. I'm supposed to pick the topic for this week. That's week 9. Having picked the topic, then I will now select. If I select the topic, then I will now look at how well am I going to develop that content of the topic that I'm going to teach. For me to do that, I have to bear in mind, for my lesson to be well professional, or the things that I'm going to project in the class for my students to be well, or learners, well professional, I am supposed to consider those things. Number one, I have to bear in mind the font size that I'm going to use. Let it be legible. Let it be, the size should be much. Let me not pick a size that maybe those that are even in the class that are behind, they cannot be able to view it very well. Let it be in such a way that the font size that I'm going to choose, even those that are from far, they will be able to view what I'm projecting. I should not choose a font size that is very small. Maybe if I choose 11 or 10, they will not be able to view it very well. Rather, I'm supposed to choose a font size maybe 14 or more than that, thereabout, size 14. So if it is size 14, it will be more visible than maybe size 10 or font size 12, because it is going to be very tiny if I'm projecting my work. So you have to consider this. Then the background, font background, let me look for a color that is not going to be dull, that is going to be awful. Let me look for a brighter color. That is color background that I'm going to use on my font style. That's the font that I've choose. My characters of writing, that what I've wrote or what I've typed. Let it be that the background is good. And let me bear in mind the number of slides that I'm going to use. Let it not be too many. And the animation that I'm going to choose. The transition that I'm going to choose. The sound that I'm going to choose. Let it be in a very professional way. Let's say, for instance, I can choose maybe italic, bold, and color for emphasis, emphasizing content. To emphasize the content, I can choose italic, bold, color for emphasizing content, so that to make my work to be more professional. Similarly, I can use light background, that's white, black, yellow, etc. The one that will not look very awful, the one that will look very transparent to the learners. Reduce redundant or text-heavy sentences or bullets. In my sentence, I'm not going to use long sentence in my presentation. I'm in PowerPoint, particularly PowerPoint presentation, we are not going to use redundant text or heavy sentences or bullets to ensure a more professional appearances. You should make sure that your appearances will be more professional and matured. By the time that when you use heavy sentences, it will make your work to be unprofessional. So you have to put all those things into consideration in content development. When you are doing your content development, that's why it's different from the normal lesson plan that you are planning manually. Having talked about multimedia and content development, now I'm going to talk about computer literacy. What is literacy? Literally, what is the meaning of literacy? When we are talking about literacy, we are talking about somebody, or let me say, it means different things to different people. When we are talking about literacy, could mean different things to different people. But when we are talking about literacy, could means one who knows how to read and write in a native language effectively and efficiently. Somebody who knows how to read and write in a particular native language. That person is a literate person. So what is computer literacy? When we are talking about computer literacy, hence computer literacy could be defined as the knowledge and ability to utilize or use computer-related technology effectively and efficiently. In other words, is the capability to manipulate, navigate, utilize computer-related objects like phones, our smartphones, laptop, and all other forms of computer-related objects like iPhone, the smartphone I have shown, iPads, tablets, and other computer-related objects, electronics. So by the time that, if you know how to manipulate those things, that's when you'll be categorized as somebody that is computer literate, as well as somebody that can be able to use the internet properly. Then you'll be categorized as somebody that is computer literate. It can also be referred as to how comfortable someone could use computer program and other applications that are associated with computer. Okay, having talked about that one, we have three aspects of computer literacy. The stages, we have three. Number one, these are the three stages. Number one, we have computer basic stage. When we are talking about computer basic stage, we are talking about the fundamentals of computer. Then, when we talk about the fundamental stages of computer is the basic or the rudiments of computer skill. E.g., somebody who knows the components of the computer very, very well. That's the basic. Somebody that knows the computer components, the usage, the keyboard usage, mouse usage, operating system, navigating and printing usage. 7, booting the computer, shutting down the computer. That's the simple typesetting. That's the fundamental, the basic stage of computer. The basic, that's the fundamentals, the basic, the elementary part of computer. That's number one. Then number two, the computer intermediate stage. When we are talking about the computer intermediate stage, we are talking about this stage involves basically manipulating various parts or application to get a desired result, e.g., backing of data, content development that I have talked about, installing and removing software, social networking, etc. In this stage, intermediates, there are a lot of applications that you're able to utilize. But I'm just, for the purpose of this presentation, I'm just giving these examples. Then the last stage is the advanced stage. Is where users not only use it for what they need it for, but also use it for solving problems for others. They use it for solving problems for others. That's societal problems. Number 1, computer programming. They use it for computer programming. 2, computer scripting. Number 3, online collaboration, game design, computer maintenance, troubleshooting, and so on and so forth. In advanced stage, is used for solving problems, societal problems, as I've mentioned. So, having talked about the multimedia content development and computer literacy, you know, in anything that you are doing, it has advantage and disadvantage. So now, we are going to look at the importance of computer literacy. That's the advantage of computer literacy. Number 1, it makes you to save time when you are using computer in your work. It makes your work to be faster, in another words. It helps a learner to be independent. When you are using, if you know computer very well, it will make you to be independent of yourself as a student. There are some research that you can go and do it at your comfort zone at home. You don't need anybody to tell you. Online, you can get some information without consulting anybody. That's the importance. Another important is that it is very accurate and reliable because computer does not make mistake. Computer doesn't make mistake. It's only the person that is operating the computer that normally make mistake, because computer is garbage in and garbage out. Anything I give to the computer, that's what the result you can get from the computer. But computer doesn't make mistake. It's the person that is operating computer may make mistake. So computer is very reliable and accurate, and it makes our work faster, and it makes our work to be more proficient, professional, and very good. As I rightly said, anything that has advantage has disadvantage. What is the disadvantage of computer knowledge? The disadvantage of computer knowledge, particularly to our teenagers, youths, in this contemporary society that we are in now, is that some people are using it, instead of them to use it in a positive way, they are using it in a negative way. Like, they will go to some website that is not healthy to them. For instance, pornography. They will go and be downloading some films that does not concern them, instead of them to focus their attention on their academics, but they will go into immoralities. They will start downloading, going to some website that is not healthy to them. Some of them, they will go, after talking about pornography, downloading pornography, some of them, they will go to the extent that maybe they will go to some website, maybe how they can manufacture bomb. That's why you see the rate of terrorism is increasing day by day. At the same time, some of them, they will go to some website that is not healthy to them. Maybe it will teach them gambling. Instead of them to focus their attention on their studies, they will engage themselves in gambling, which will not help them. By the time, if care is not taken, they will engage themselves, they indulge themselves in some vices that will not even help them. Some of them, they will leave the school. At the end of the day, they will become school dropout, and it will truncate their future, which is very bad. So some of them are using it in a negative form. In conclusion, the importance of multimedia in this 21st century cannot be overemphasized. Therefore, I encourage each and every person to key in, to embrace the knowledge of computer literacy, to engage he or herself in computer knowledge, so that we will develop our country and the world at large. Because in this present dispensation, if you don't know how to computer, you cannot go anywhere, you cannot go far. So therefore, I advise each and every person to embrace the knowledge of computer, so that we can skill up our country and skill up the world at large. Thank you very much.